Hi, boys and girls. I'm going to read to you the informational passage that we read together called Race to the Rescue because you might want to listen again, read it to yourself again so that you can answer the questions. Okay, so Race to the Rescue by Lisa Torrey. In the winter of 1925, a deadly disease broke out in Nome, Alaska. The disease was a serious threat to the children who lived there. Only one kind of medicine could stop the disease from spreading. However, the medicine was in Anchorage, Alaska. Anchorage was nearly 1,000 miles away from Nome. People were in a hurry to get the medicine from Anchorage to Nome. There was an old mail route called the Iditarod Trail. It linked the two towns, but the trip along the route would be very hard. The route was covered with snow and ice. The howling winds were bitter cold. Rough mountains covered part of the route. Their only hope was to use sled dogs. Sled dogs could endure the long, cold journey. They could get them medicine quickly to Nome. The journey begins. More than 20 mushers or drivers put together teams of sled dogs. Each team played a key part in the relay to race the medicine to Nome. The first team soon left Anchorage on the first leg of the trip. Reporters wrote articles about the heroic race to deliver the medicine to Nome. People all around the world read these reports in newspapers. They followed each leg of the journey. They became caught up in the drama that was taking place in Alaska. They cheered for the dog sled teams. Balto leads the way. Amazingly, the team on the final stretch of the journey arrived in Nome only 6 days later. The musher drove his dog sled team into Nome on February 2nd, 1925. The team brought the medicine that would keep the children in Nome safe. A husky named Balto was at the lead. Soon, people all over the world saw pictures of Balto. People everywhere recognized his black furry face and sparkling eyes. In 1926, a group of people built a statue in honor of Balto. They placed the statue in Central Park in New York City. Balto died in 1933. Over 40 years later, people in Alaska wanted to honor the heroic race that brought the medicine to Nome. They also wanted the race to celebrate Alaska and the importance of sled dogs. The Alaskans held the sled dog race in 1967. It was a much shorter distance compared to the 1925 route. The first official Iditarod race was held in 1973. The trail covers nearly 1,200 miles. The race has been held every year since. Mushers and their team of sled dogs come from all over to compete. It is called the last great race on Earth.